Formagi YouTube video k lia oper jo tum ny story lik kdhs k oper tai men strong hook lik k do. Hook jandar. Suspenseful our curiosity si barpor hona chaye k mary vauer engage ho jn our video ko ntk dekina journey together. The forest trail shimmered beneath the late afternoon sun. A warm breeze brushed against my neck as I walked beside her. The leaves rustled softly, as if whispering secrets we were not meant to hear. Birds circled above us in slow drifting patterns. Their shadows slid across the ground like silent warnings. She laughed quietly and pointed toward a narrow path veering off the main road. Her smile looked brighter than the light that filtered through the trees. I followed her steps, listening to the crunch of dry soil under our shoes. The air thickened with the smell of damp earth and unfamiliar plants. My heartbeat softened into a steady rhythm that matched our pace. A distant crack echoed between the tall trunks. She stopped and looked back at me with questioning eyes. I felt a chill crawl across my arms despite the warm temperature. The wind died suddenly, leaving the forest in stillness. Even the birds froze in mid-flight above us. We walked deeper into the narrow path. The trees grew closer, pressing their branches overhead like arching ribs. My breath tightened as the sunlight faded into thin pale streaks. A faint metallic scent drifted through the air. It clung to the back of my throat, heavy and sharp. She reached out to touch a tree marked with deep scratches. The grooves were wide enough for a hand to slip inside. My pulse quickened as I stepped closer to examine them. The wood around the marks looked torn, as if something had dragged its claws through it. A sudden vibration trembled through the ground under our feet. I looked at her, and she looked at me. Her expression shifted from curiosity to quiet dread. The vibration grew stronger, shaking the leaves in a soft rattling chorus. A low growl rose from the darkness ahead of us. The sound scraped through the air like metal dragging across stone. We stood frozen, breath locked in our chests. Something moved between the trees with slow deliberate steps. Its shape remained hidden, but its presence pressed against the air. The growl deepened until it filled the forest around us. And then the branches directly in front of us began to tremble. Each twig shook as if something heavy brushed against them from the other side. I felt the air thicken around my face until it became difficult to pull it into my lungs. A faint tremor moved through my legs, rising slowly toward my chest. The forest seemed to lean toward us, waiting for what would come next. She took a step backward. Her foot pressed against dry leaves that cracked loudly under her weight. The sound echoed through the stillness in a sharp burst. The trembling branches parted with a slow spreading motion. A massive shadow emerged, stretching across the ground like ink spilled on stone. I could not see a face. I could not see eyes. I only felt the pressure of its presence pushing against my skin. A deep breath came from the shadow, long and heavy. The breath smelled of cold iron and wet soil. The ground underneath us shifted again. Small stones rattled near my shoes. A thin line of dust rose into the air in trembling spirals. She reached for my arm, gripping it tightly. Her palm felt cold and damp against my skin. The shadow moved forward. Branches snapped under its weight. The snapping sounded like bones breaking. The air pulsed with each of its steps. My heartbeat hammered inside my ears until I heard nothing else. I lifted my head slowly and tried to force my eyes to focus. A shape took form within the darkness. It stood taller than the surrounding trees. Its outline shifted as if made of smoke trapped inside a solid frame. A low vibration hummed from its chest and traveled into the soil. She whispered my name with a trembling voice. The sound faded almost instantly, swallowed by the forest. The creature turned its head slightly toward her.